6 years later. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5 on Fox 5.
It's hard to believe it is the 6th anniversary tomorrow, and September 11th, of course, changed the lives of so many people in so many profound ways.
Now we want to tell you the story of 3 people whose lives have intersected and who believe fate has brought them to where they are now and to where they're going. They are 3 young people whose ordinary lives have perhaps been touched by extraordinary circumstances. Andy, a dedicated runner, now inspired by a man whose life may have been very similar to his own. Sandra, a promising young high school graduate who hopes to one day give back.
You're welcome.
And Nick, a fallen hero whose commitment led him to an untimely death and whose fate has now brought all 3 of them together.
Nick, as far as being a firefighter, that he was very dedicated, and he loved the job. Nick was the type that loved helping people.
Nick Rossomando was just 35 years old on September 11th, 2001. Like his fellow firefighters at Rescue 5 on Staten Island, Nick did not hesitate when the call for help came in.
They all jumped on the truck, and Nick jumped on there with them. And
that was it.
They never came back.
Nick and his courageous brothers all gave the ultimate sacrifice that day.
At first it was, why did you go? Why didn't you come home? But that was the type of person he was. He wasn't going to be left out.
Does time heal wounds?
It's not really any better in the sense of missing him, because he was such an intricate part of our lives that now that he's gone, it's like a void has been left for all of us.
Nick was born the oldest of 4. His mom raised him, his 2 brothers, and sister by herself.
As a young boy, he had it tough growing up in a single-parent home. Living on a limited income did not allow us to enjoy, all the good things in life.
Still, Nick excelled in everything he did. Whether it was bodybuilding or football, his mother says he always wanted to shine.
If he did something, he did it not 100%, did it 1,000%.
There are pictures and mementos in every room of the Rossomando's home, constant reminders to his family of just how much he was loved and how much he is deeply missed.
Sometimes I'll just stand in front of it and I'll just shake my head like I can't believe that he's not here.
They are a close family. One of Nick's nephews is now named after him and is the spitting image of his uncle.
One of my biggest fears was that Nick would be forgotten. He wasn't married, he had no children, and as everyone knows, as time passes by, people's lives go in different directions, and that was my biggest fear.
And so, Nick will never be forgotten. The family started the Nicholas Rossomando Scholarship Fund. Money raised in Nick's name is awarded to high school student athletes from Nick's old school, Port Richmond High. And as a way for them to raise even more money for the fund, the family has linked up with the New York City Marathon. This year, 20 runners who might otherwise not have been able to secure a coveted spot in the marathon will run to raise money in Nick's name. One of those runners is Andy Sansone. He never planned on running for the fund, but fate changed that.
I originally planned on running the marathon to celebrate my 40th birthday. I wanted to do something special for that. And I applied, and I wasn't selected through the lottery system.
A lottery system that only accepts about 1/3 of the runners. Andy tried another approach, running for a charity. He applied to Nicholas Rossomando Foundation, and he got a call from Nick's mom that he had been accepted.
I got a call from a woman named Barbara, and she had told me that she's associated with the fund. And at the time I didn't know it, but she's Nick's mom.
What Andy didn't realize is how much he had in common with Barbara's son, Nick.
It turns out that Nick was only a year older than I was, so he would have been right around 40 as well, which makes it kind of special. He grew up in a single-parent home, and he had the same family makeup. He was a single guy, and he kind of lived sort of the same lifestyle that I have.
After months of emailing, We were there when Andy finally met Nick's mom.
You know, it's wild, really.
For Andy, the run has now taken on a whole new meaning.
I guess, you know, on a grand scale, everybody was affected by 9/11, and this is, I guess, in my own little small way of contributing in a positive fashion toward this.
With months to go before the marathon, Andy alone has already raised $7,000 towards Nick's scholarship fund. How does it make you feel giving these kids such hope for the future?
It just gave me a good feeling to see that we were helping somebody in Nick's name, especially young people.
Sandra DeVito is one of the scholarship recipients, a top student in her class who practiced gymnastics 6 days a week while excelling in her studies. Today, Nick's mom gave her a check towards college.
It's amazing. I was actually having trouble paying for college.
Sandra's dream is to become a physical therapist. And even after his death, Nick's strength and determination continues to inspire.
Hopefully, when I become a physical therapist, I'll be able to give back to you and Fort Richmond and everything. Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
When you run, you kind of get into this zone, and your thinking is really clear, and it's easy to think about, you know, the sacrifice that he made, and that he's not here anymore to enjoy, you know, this life that we have, and it's inspiring.
Have you gotten a sign from Nick? You think Nick's proud of you?
Yeah. I know he is. I know he is.
Andy, along with 19 other runners from the Nicholas Rossomando Scholarship Fund, will be running at the New York City Marathon on November 2nd. Barbara says she will be there cheering her team on, and she hopes to continue her foundation for many years to come. And for more information, you can log on to our website at www.myfoxny.com.
Just one life affects so many people.
What a beautiful family.
It's inspiring, isn't it, though?
Yeah, very nice. And as we reflect tomorrow, musicians will be using their voices and instruments in a day of healing.
They're taking part in these